Hey, I'm ElusiveKev, and welcome back to MotoGP 17 and the rider career as Patrick McDonald is flying round the Valencia circuit. His final race. A Grumpy motorcycle bike, because what the hell is that Yamaha doing? Or was that the Suzuki with Alex Rins? Just joining in the middle of the racing line in turn 1. Absolutely stupid. Well, McDonald survives. And he's on his bank of that before he really guns it on the next lap. He gets used to this Valencia circuit again. A very stop-start circuit. Pretty good on a motorbike. Not that good on four wheels though. There's at least on the motorbike with the tight confines you can still find a gap or two to make an overtake. But it's definitely a very popular season finale. And for Patrick McDonald, he has got one objective to do, and that is win in a normal length finale as well. We should see how he does. He goes through the right. Into the fast right. That is such a tricky corner. Try and carry speed through it, just like this bend afterwards. You can see rear trying to get away from you. Takes a wide line, clips the apex. He gets hard on the power. He goes across the start finish line, and it's a 29-1. That is not good. You've got to be a couple seconds faster, or a second faster to make it through. If this time he's got a clear entrance in turn 1. Let's see if he can improve then. On a track where he's been decent round in the past, but the longer finales has not been as good as maybe could have been with the shorter race. We will see with the normal length finale here. Well, for 8 laps. I believe it's a long race for the calendar. So you're going to see how tyre air holds on the final lap. As we saw in Malaysia last time out, if you get a poor start, it can haunt you for the rest of the race. As you can see McDonald going quicker. Around half a second. Once again, the rear is just not sticking around there. Trying to get the power down. As he goes through the right, nice and smooth on the power. Very good transition. He's building the gap all the time to his previous lap. And nicely through the right-hander. He's got to let off slightly through the long left-hand bend into the final corner. Braking downhill. Got to be very careful on the power as he heads towards the line. Oh, this is much quicker. His first lap had been good enough anyway. What was I writing about? As McDonald makes it through by over a second ahead of Daniel Petrucci, with Jack Miller just missing out in third on the Mark VDS machine. Then Scott Redden in the first of quite a few Spanish riders throughout the field. Alicia Spargo in 5th, over Ben Hister in 6th, the next Rin, Steve back hit to Barbara, and Paul Spargo on the back row alongside Sam Knowles and Bradley Smith. As here goes Patrick McDonald for his flying up in qualifying 2, going to grab a pole for the final time at top level. As he goes for the first corner, hooks on the apex beautifully in 3rd gear. If he replicates that lap from the first session, no doubt it'd be right up there below 28. Maybe he needs a high 27 to be right up there and challenging for pole. Let's see if he can do that once again. Look at that rear snatching as he brakes for the right-hander. Seems just to be through the right-hand corners the bike is suffering a bit. To the left, it's not too bad. You can see braking into the hairpin for the back straight. Nice and smooth on the braking, smooth on the power, nice corner speed as well through the apex. So he goes into the left. Slightly wide, tries to get on the power a bit earlier. Again, rear just fucking bronkering out. It goes a bit too wide for the left. Nice and smooth on the power though on the exit. It's going to be close time-wise, it looks like. As well, once again, the rear getting out through the right-hander. Tries to carry the speed through the left. Not able to do that though. It goes through the final corner, gets on the power. Rear stood up slightly, but it's another 28. And it is pole for his final race. What a job from Patrick McDonald. Just pipping home hero, the championship leader, his main rival Vinales, to that pole. I'm sure the home fans are very happy about that, with Marquez in third. Then Rossi leads the second row ahead of Dovi and Pedrosa. And then you've got Crutchery, Noni and Lorenzo on the third row. On the fourth, it's Jorge Lorenzo, Dino Petrucci and Jonas Folger. So there's one more race. 8 laps will decide the title. Will it be Patrick McDonald or Maverick Vinales? Let's find out. As we see the Hulk on pole alongside his title rival Vinales, and the other rival, Rossi, leads the second row behind. He could be in a Yamaha sandwich heading towards this fast first corner. Left-handers, you know, outside the top 12, there's Melody in the fifth row, Batista in the sixth. The usual suspects right at the back.
Here at Valencia's Ricardo Tormo circuit, everything ready now, and in the riders' minds, there's room for one single thought: getting to the finish line first.
No doubt. No doubt about that, has. McDonald revs like the enjoy for lights up here, and go out for this 8-lap race. Gets a smooth start, but Vinales gets a better one. Will he get the whole shot towards the first corner? Here comes Dovi as well. Doesn't look like Rossi's coming along for the ride. But Dovi squeezes into third. But it's Marquez leading. As McDonald goes down the inside of not just Dovi, but Vinales as well, blocks him. And now Rossi comes along into third. So it's Marquez, McDonald, Rossi. Pedrosa up to fourth. He's shuttled out Vinales as well on his opening lap. You go for the right. Oh, what are you doing, Rossi? Pushing McDonald ride. No doubt he's happy about that, the LCR rider. He goes for the left-hander. Rossi's held it around the outside, so Marquez with a nice lead. But here comes McDonald down the inside of Rossi. Now pushing the doctor ride like he did to him just a few corners ago. It's Vinales back up to fourth, head of Pedrosa. Oh, McDonald going wide though, through the right. Somebody stays on board the bike. You expect him to be aggressive through that double right. Not all that aggressive, as Vinales up to third now, ahead of Rossi. So the task is clear for McDonald. Take this lead away from Marc Marquez. Vinales already a bit back in third. As he go across the stripe for the first time, 7 to go. Marquez, McDonald, Vinales and Rossi. I say Vinales has dropped back. There he is, right on the tail of McDonald through the first corner. As he got a hard rear, medium front for McDonald. But the medium front seems to be lasting well in these races. Vinales having a look at his title rival. But no room at the end there. As he go into the right-hander. See, Marquez got almost a second lead. So at the moment, Vinales is winning the title by 3 points. And Marquez riding beautifully on his Honda. There's a Honda 1-2 as well ahead of the Yamaha 3-4. Wonder how it's shuffled out behind the top 4 though. So can lots of speed into the left, and here comes Rossi being the spoiler for his teammate. Well, for Rossi, if he's not going to win the title in the Yamaha, no one's going to win the title in the Yamaha. Vinales fights back through the right hand, and look at this, McDonald right in the tail of Marquez now, almost into the back of the Spaniard. I'm sure the home crowd would have been very happy about that. And look how much he's lost through the long left hand as a consequence. He goes through the final corner, trying to get on the power, but had to have a second bite at the cherry because that rear wheel was spinning up. This one is just a fast lap 29.2. McDonald just a fast lap 29.0. It is very close between this pair, 6:10. So McDonald gets a time penalty of almost half a second. How has he got that? Barely cut the course there. Yeah, it's cost him half a second. So now he's got to get past Marquez and build a lead. No racing to the line here. Lots of pressure on McDonald to deliver in his final race. As he goes through the left. Nice and smooth on the power. See, the gap remains similar to Marquez, almost 7 tenths now. It's going to do. They're there. Rossi and Vinales have dropped back though. Almost 8 tenths behind this pair. As here goes McDonald, looking to the inside of Marquez. He's making the move already. He takes the lead. Marquez left the door open. You don't leave a door open to a rider like McDonald. He'll walk through it and he'll slam that door in your face. As he goes into the left, final corner. Marquez right on his tail. There's now 5 to go. They're with the fastest at 28.6. Just a couple of tenths over Marquez though. Again, under braking. Bike not the best at the moment. Vinales up to third ahead of Rossi. But at the moment in time, McDonald's winning the title. Or will he, as Marquez pushes him wide? Look at this, the two Hondas going at it. It's almost losing the rear, braking into the right. Again, getting the power, has to check up McDonald. Look at this, rear wheel spinning all over the place. This circuit not lighting the hard tyres. And then we saw it in his qualifying happen, somehow he produced the goods. At the moment he would be winning, half a second back for Marquez. And this is a strong sector for McDonald as well, this sector. He goes through the right. Into the slow right-hander here. Just have to creep round it and get very smooth on the power. As now he's got a second gap behind to Marquez. Marquez good through this long left, leading into the final corner. That's Rossi back ahead of Vinales and Dobby down from 7th on his Ducati. He really is falling back from the top 3, hasn't he, in the last third of the season. He's all with another fast at 28.8. Now he's got a gap of 8 tenths behind to Marquez. Rossi in 3rd, Vinales in 4th. Or should we say Vinales in 3rd as he takes back that position from his teammate in the first corner. It's in the second half of the race. Just 4 laps to go. And oh, he's almost losing it. McDonald under braking into that right-hander. Such a tricky corner. He's got to be careful with that now with the tyres wearing. Down halfway worn on the rear and the front. It is not going to be good on the final lap. Look at that, Marquez gained by a few tenths this lap. Thanks to that mistake from McDonald. He's having the short shift everywhere. Again, that rear trying to get out through the right-hander. He powers away through that sequence. We'll be able to get out to 1.2 seconds. And Vinales back past Rossi for 3rd. He goes into the final corner down to 2nd. Again, just can't get smoothly on that power. As he dips back into the 29s, 29.6. He's 8 tenths ahead of Marquez. Normally in the middle part of the race, this is when McDonald pulls away, but the gap has remained solid with the Spaniards, and with his tyre issues here, might need to push a bit more to build that gap as Rossi and Vinales are still battling like a hell for 3rd. That is important for the championship. Because if Vinales finishes 4th, McDonald can finish 2nd. If Vinales finishes 3rd, Vinales has to win. And look at this bike sliding everywhere. McDonald's going to finish 2nd with the time penalty. No way he's going to build a gap to Marquez with the way the bike's sliding. Look at that, Marquez now just half a second behind. As he gets on the power again through this fast section. Here's a wonderful session with the dips as well. So it slows down getting through the right. And it's McDonald's section as well. Builds that gap back up to 1.1 seconds. But through the right, just can't get the brake in. And look at that rear wheel spinning up again through the long left-hand bend. Really is a tyre killer. But gets smooth and the power for once out the final corners. Vinales leads. Rossi back into third. They're still in the 29s, but these were just 6/10. That gap is coming down as we're on the penultimate lap. And that rear wheel is going everywhere. Well, tries to be smooth on the power, but no, bike's not reciprocating now as Rossi back past Vinales for third. Oh, but McDonald actually increased the gap in the first sector for once. Don't often see that this race. Let's look at a massive crowd here for the finale. Absolutely insane. And they're seeing one of their own battling for the title and battling for the win. McDonald doing well on this penultimate lap though. 8/10 is the gap to Marquez. Just when he needs to. He's producing the goods once again, is the Kenyan. As he goes through the right-hander. Winning in the Rookies Cup in controversial circumstances in Aragon. And then dominating in Moto3. Having an up and down first season in Moto2 before again dominating that. And then racing away with the MotoGP title in the end. His first season, but this season has been a different one. It's been a battle as he dips into the low 29s for the final lap of his career. Donald is riding like a dream again, where Rossi and Vinales could have a meaningless battle to be on the podium in the context of the championship. Rossi keeps, McDonald keeps riding like this. Well, Marquez gained a couple of tenths in that first sector. He goes through the right hand and middle again, struggling to get on the powers. Look at that tyres in the bottom right. Very worn. With half of that to go, championship is right in the balance. And look at Marquez, 9/10 behind. McDonald in his favourite sector now. He can just gun it over the curbs into this slow right-hander. Just one sector to go. He's got a lead of 1.3 seconds over Marquez. Rossi in third. Vinales off the podium as he heads towards the final corner. Down to second. Smooth enough on the power. As he heads towards the line, McDonald will win his final race. But has he won the championship? Who's finished third? Who's finished second? It will be McDonald. As he's 6/10 ahead of Marquez, set the fastest outside, the only guy into the 28th. Rossi in third, Vinales fourth, Pedrosa fifth. Great race from Danny to end the season ahead of Lorenzo, Zarco, Inoni, Dino Petrucci, Jonas Folger around at top 10, Alicia Spargo, Scott Redding, Norris Baz, Aaron Batista and Jack Miller grabs the final point ahead of Alex Wins with Davizioso in 17th, Crutchlow in 20th and Tito about at the back. So in the end, Patrick McDonald wins the title by 5 points. If Vinales finished ahead of Rossi and got to the podium, it would have been just 2 points separating the pair. But the LCR Honda rider began the season at Yamaha, has defeated his former teammates to retain his title to become a 2-time MotoGP champion, to go along with his Moto2 and Moto3 championships to become a 4-time Grand Prix motorcycle champion. As Rossi finishes in third, 14 points behind. Great battle between the Yamaha pair all season long. But the Joker, the wild card, the reigning champ had to come through and grab the title from under their noses, with Davizioso in fourth, just 4 points ahead of Marquez in the end for the Ducati rider. And Danilo Petrucci, what a season for the Italian. He had over 100 points, I think, at the halfway mark, or approaching 100 points. Did not have a very good second half of the season in comparison, but still finishes 6th with exactly half the points of McDonald and just 2 points ahead of Jorge Lorenzo on the factory Ducati ride. Brilliant job from the Italian on the Pramac Ducati. Then we got Pedrosa in 8th, a further 4 points back. And then a bit of a gap to Johan Zarco, beats out Car Quattro to 9th in the end by a couple of points. Then we got Andrea Iannone in 11th on the Suzuki, another former McDonald teammate. And then you got Scott Redding in 12th, a further 10 points behind. And Alicia Spargo in 13th, a single point ahead of Jonas Folger, with Alvaro Bautista in 15th. Very good season on that Aspar. And then on the Inventa, Loris Baz up to 16th ahead of Alex Rins by a single point, with Jack Miller in 18th, the last of the double figure point scorers. Then you got Hector Barber in 19th, Tito about 20th, and Cal Abraham managed to score a couple of points on his Aspar in 21st, ahead of Sam Lowe's, Bradley Smith and Paul Spargo on the KTM's and Aprilia fed in to score. As in the constructors standing, Yamaha with 375 points, won the title by 47 points ahead of Honda, with Ducati in 3rd over 100 points back, and Suzuki exactly 200 points behind in 4th, with Aprilia 5th, KTM at the back. And then in the team's rankings, Yamaha ran away with it, winning by 177 points over LCR Honda, who beat out Ducati by 35 points, while they were only 8 points ahead of the Repsol Honda team. Then Pramac with a superb season ran out the top 5 ahead of Tech 3 by 63 points. Then you got Suzuki in 7th, Priacosini in 8th, just 11 points ahead of Aspar in the end, who were just 10 points ahead of Avintia. And they were 9 points ahead of Mark VDS. Well, less said about the factory KTM effort, the better. As there are your championship winners. He does ride off into the sunset, does Patrick McDonald, with another title. And for the final time, he's celebrating in the paddock with his clones. There will be a long party, a week-long, month, year-long party for him, as he's earned a decent amount of reputation throughout his years. Look at those. Over 4 million is that reputation he's earned. Not too bad. But I hope you enjoyed wider career MotoGP 17 and my last career mode video for MotoGP 17. I want to thank all of you for watching right from the beginning of manager career and those who have carried on with rider career. I really do thank you for watching these videos. As I say, MotoGP 17 has transformed my channel. It has, it's definitely become a two-world channel, along with, off-road racing, along with circuit racing for the four-world variety as well. But GP 17 has been a staple of this channel for almost a year now, and it's sad to say goodbye to the career modes for this game. But I'll be back with hopefully MotoGP 18 career. If that does get released with Milestone, we'll find out soon if Dorna renewed their license for Milestone to create those games, because I know MotoGP 17 had a very poor reaction when it came out. It's got slightly better since then, at least on PC they've fixed major bug issues, but online is still abysmal, unfortunately. But offline, as you can see, it can be fun at times. Yeah, your opponents can sometimes just ride by themselves. They battle each other fantastically, just when you're in the mix they don't really pay too much attention to you sometimes. But overall, I've enjoyed the game. Yes, it hasn't moved on much from the big improvements, say, from MotoGP 15. That's when they last made a big improvement of Milestone. If the games did with Valentino Rossi, the game / MotoGP 6, then they just had it in all the Valentino Rossi stuff. Didn't really change the game at all, made the graphics a bit brighter, and then they've done that again with this game. Improved the engine sounds, they are sounding much better. Graphics are slightly tweaked as well, but this is hopefully the last game on this engine from Milestone as well. This is the engine they created for this MotoGP game, which has been very good to them with the ride games as well, with Seblo, Rally, Evo. But now they move on to the Unreal Engine 4, as you saw with Gravel, as you've seen with MXGP 3, as you've seen with Monster Energy Supercross as well. So we're saying goodbye to this engine for Milestone. We're saying goodbye to this game, at least in career mode form. I may do some 100% races as well, so I haven't really tried that out in any of the MotoGP games, so that might be a good series to do as well. So I don't want to say goodbye as well to Grand Prix Motorcycle Racing on this channel, gameplay form, and also World Motorsport Talk form as well. But thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. And before I forget, there's one final wrap-up video coming with some stats and just talking about the career modes as well for the McDonalds. Don't miss that. Coming out soon.